The bar is open and it's time for a whiskey cocktail, and I'm going to show you how to make one that might not be part of your repertoire. I'm David Savona, editor-at-large for Whisky Advocate, and today I'm going to pour you a Red Hook, fresh from the pages of our fall 2025 issue. This is a variation of the Manhattan, a classic whiskey cocktail everyone should know. This cocktail is made with 3 ingredients: rye whiskey, Punt and Luxardo Maraschino liqueur. The heart of this drink is rye. Now always use a good whiskey in your cocktails. I'm using Old Overholt Bonded Rye, a 100 proof whiskey that scored 93 points in a Whisky Advocate blind tasting. This rye has plenty of flavor, it's easy to find, and it sells for a great price. It's only about $27 a bottle. So we're gonna start with 2 ounces of the Old Overholt. Then we add 1/2 ounce of Punt, a considerably bitter Italian vermouth. Now, I always have Punt on hand because my mother-in-law loves a splash of this with her Campari before dinner. Now, this is something I wouldn't drink alone because of its bitterness, but that bitterness and the complexity of the herbaceousness in the vermouth make it a perfect foil for this cocktail. Then, 1/2 ounce of Luxardo Maraschino liqueur. This is a recipe that dates back more than 200 years. You might know this from the Hemingway daiquiri. It's an important ingredient in that drink. Now, Luxardo Maraschino is very sweet, with, of course, as you might expect, cherry flavor. That sweetness, that intense sweetness, really is a good match for that Punt. Now, if you're a Manhattan fan, you might be saying, where are the bitters? This particular recipe, created by Vincenzo Enrico back in 2003, doesn't call for bitters. The Punt has enough of that herbaceous, bitter character to take care of that. I'm using a mixing glass to create this cocktail. I'm gonna go in the reverse direction of James Bond and stir this Red Hook rather than shaking it. That's gonna give us a smoother viscosity than shaking would. Let's add our ice. There you go. And let's stir. Now, when you stir a cocktail, it does more than just chilling and mixing the drink. We're also getting a little bit of water from dilution from the ice, and that's going to help the overall taste of the cocktail. Water's that unsung hero, it brings everything together. So after all that stirring, we're going to strain this into a frosty Nick and Nora glass fresh from the freezer. You can use a martini glass if you don't have a Nick and Nora, but the Nick and Nora has an old-fashioned look to it. Here we go. Now, the last thing we need here is a maraschino cherry. Please do not use one from the supermarket that looks like it's neon and it's been sitting there forever, it has no flavor. You could really elevate your cocktail game with a proper cocktail cherry. This one's from Luxardo. Now let's try that Red Hook cocktail. Ooh, that's delicious. It's like a Manhattan, but an elevated cherry flavor. The bitterness of the Punt plays well with the sweetness of the Luxardo, and at the heart of it is that Old Overholt Rye. That's delicious. For more cocktails just like this one, see every issue of Whisky Advocate, and be sure to tune in here again for more video content. Cheers.